Hello friends, welcome back to my channel Mukesh English, and this is your favorite YouTuber Mukesh Soni. Friends, in this video we are going to summarize a very famous story title which is Loaves, written by the famous American writer O. Henry. This story is in the syllabus of first semester B.Sc English language under SEP Syllabus under Bangalore University from the year 2024. So let's know about the story very briefly. Witches' Loaves by O. Henry is a humorous and touching short story which revolves around a lady called Miss Martha, who is a very kind hearted and alone bakery owner. She runs a bakery. The story explores the themes of kindness, assumptions, and unwanted or unintended consequences. When Miss Martha takes an interest in a regular customer who seems very poor, who buys stale bread, she imagines him as a struggling artist and she attempts to him to help through a small act of kindness. However, her assumptions about his life lead to an unexpected and disastrous outcome, showing how even well-meaning actions can go wrong when when it is based on some misunderstanding. So now let's have a discussion of this story, which is Loaves, in detail. So Miss Martha Misham is a 40-year-old unmarried woman who owns a small bakery. Her shop is modest, small shop, but quite charming, with a bell that rings when the door opens. Miss Martha is a kind and sympathetic woman longing for companionship. She needs a partner. She has a savings of about $2,000 in a bank account and she dreams of a better future, though she leads a simple life. A middle aged man becomes a regular customer at a bakery. He has a German accent and he wears spectacles, has a neatly trimmed brown beard. His clothes are old and patched, which suggests he is not wealthy, but he is polite and well mannered. He always buys two stale loaves of bread, which cost less than fresh ones. Observing his stained fingers like red color or the brown color, she assumes he must be an artist who is working with paints. She imagines he's poor, struggling to make ends meet, and living in a cold attic. She imagines that this person is a very poor person. She thinks he buys stale bread to save money, which makes her feel pity for him. Miss Martha's sympathetic heart begins to ache for the man. She starts to think of the ways to help him. Miss Martha fantasizes about the man, how she imagines him eating stale bread alone in his small room. She imagines. She dreams of sharing her delicious meals with him and bringing joy to his life. Her thoughts wander to the idea of forming a bond with him, even sometimes romantic feelings. It seems that she's in love with this person. What happens later? To confirm that he's an artist, she places a painting. Which painting? Venetian scene in the bakery. She places a painting to confirm that whether he's artist or not. She hopes the man will notice the painting and comment on it, revealing his knowledge of the art. When he visits again, the man remarks on the painting, criticizing its perspective as incorrect. He criticizes that this painting is not correct. Somewhere he criticizes the painting. This convinces Miss Martha that he is indeed an artist and very skilled in observing the detail. Now it is confirmed that this person is an artist. Now Miss Martha, over time, she begins dressing up more, wearing her blue dotted silk vest to impress him. So now she has started to wear a good quality clothes to impress him because she loves him. She starts using a homemade beauty remedy like quince seeds and borax to improve her complexion. So she has started to prepare some sort of cosmetics. She notices the man looks thinner and very sadder and wishes to offer him better food, but she doesn't want to hurt his pride, right? Then what happens? One day, Miss Martha sees a chance to help him. She seeks a chance to help him. How? While the man looks out the door at a fire truck passing by, she quickly spreads fresh butter inside the stale loaves he always buys. So she just applies very fresh butter on the stale loaves on this bread here. She ties the loaves in a paper, imagining how happy and surprised he'll be when he discovers her gesture. So, when she was giving it and he was not observing, he was observing a kind of truck. That time she applied the butter and she just packed it in hurry burry, so that she will be he'll be surprised to see this the best quality of bread here. She daydreams about him, thinking of her kindness and feeling grateful. But what happens here further? Later, the man returns to the bakery, visibly angry. Why? His face is red, his hat is askew, and he shouts at Miss Martha in both English and German. He calls her meddlesome old cat, blames her for ruining his work. Miss Martha is shocked and confused. Why? What's the reason? A young man who works with a customer explains the situation. This young man who works with a customer, he's going to explain the situation. Why is he so angry? The customer is not an artist. I'm sorry. There's another young man who works with this person, and this young man says, "Madam, your customer is not an is not an is not an artist, but an architectural draftsman working on a plan for a new city hall. Draftsmen use stale bread to erase pencil marks from the drawing because it is better than rubber erasers. The butter Miss Martha added to the loaves ruined the bread and making it greasy and unusable." So this has been told by some other young man who was working with this customer, and he told that this person is not an artist. He's a architectural draftsman who's working for a city hall, and he mixes this bread to erase the pencil marks. And this time she has applied the butter. Because of this butter, what has happened? The pencil has become quite greasy and unusable. That's the reason that he's shouting. Oh my god. His hard work of 3 months was destroyed because of her act of kindness. So obviously, Miss Martha feels deeply embarrassed and ashamed. She realizes that her assumptions about the man were completely wrong. Her kind but misguided gesture, driven by her imagination, caused more harm than good. She takes off her fancy blue dotted silk vest and puts on her old brown dress, symbolizing her return to her practical self. Now she has come back in her old attire. She pours away her beauty mixture, giving up her romantic dreams of the man. Now she has no fascination about this man, right? So, what's the moral of the story we have here? Don't assume without facts. So, Miss Martha misunderstood the man's life and intentions because she assumed too much based on appearances. Second moral, good intentions can have bad outcomes also. Her act of kindness, though well meaning, ended up causing harm because it was not based on what the man was truly needed. Balance emotions with practicality. Miss Martha let her emotions and imaginations guide her actions instead of understanding the reality. And the last moral we find here, romantic fantasies versus reality. The story shows how romanticized thoughts can lead to disappointment when faced with the truth. So here we have seen here how Miss Martha got misunderstood. The person whom she thought must be an artist, who turned out to be a craftsman, and she tried to give her best food, but it was really embarrassing situation for her. The person shouted at her. So sometimes, what do we feel here? We should not assume without facts. Sometimes our good intentions can bring the bad outcomes, and we need to balance our emotions in practical life. And moreover, there's a lot of difference between fantasy and the reality. We should try to judge the person, then we should come to some conclusion. So this is about the summary of the story The Witch's Loaves by O. Henry. Hope you have liked this video. And this is in the first semester B.Sc General English General English syllabus from the year 2024 SEP syllabus. Guys, if you like this video, click on the like button, write in the comment box, and do subscribe my channel. You will get many videos summaries very shortly, which you can see in the description box as well as in the playlist. Thank you so much for watching this video.